The story will be dreadful, melancholy, and calamitous. A word which here means dreadful and melancholy. Rickety is a word here which means unsteady or likely to collapse at any moment.
Festive means fun.
We know what festive means.
Sonny Baudelaire was an infant, a word which here means a person of the age at which one mostly speaks in a series of unintelligible shrieks, so most people had trouble understanding what she was saying.
Perished means killed.
We know what perished means.
What does blanch mean?
It means boil.
Nobody asked you.
Hasty means quickly because I'm due at the bank soon.
We know what hasty means.
Courageous, just another word for brave.
Applaud means go like this.
Flashback, that is a word which here means taken place during the events of the last episode.
The phrase closest living relative can mean only one thing. Whoever lives nearby.
Really? In local parentis means acting in the role of a parent.
Standoffish refers to a person who, for various reasons, is not associating with others. Literally is a word which here means that something is actually happening, whereas figuratively is a word which means it just feels like it's happening.
Over and out. It's kind of a walkie-talkie slang for goodbye.
You see, curtains means that your sister will be dropped out of the window. But it's also a sort of play on theatrical curtains.
Aberrant, a word which here means very, very wrong and causing much grief. Count Olaf was still at large, a phrase which here means that the authorities had not caught him and would not catch him for a very long time.
Ridicule means tease.
We know what ridicule means.
Do you know what herpetology means?
Well, ology always means the study of.
Snakes. Snakes, snakes, snakes. That's what I study.
Bambini.
Bambini. It's Italian for children. The misnomer. Do you know what that means?
A very wrong name.
Simply put, a dramatic irony is when a person makes a remark and someone who hears it knows something, which makes the remark have a different, usually unpleasant meaning.
What did he mean, conundrum of esoterica?
Well, a conundrum is a mystery. And esoterica are obscure objects or documents.
Never is a very long time.
Wary. Which is a word that around here means very careful.
We know what wary means.
The word hackneyed here means used by so many writers it is a tiresome cliche. While meanwhile back at the ranch is a phrase used to link what is going on in one part of a story with another part. It has nothing to do with cows or creamy salad dressing. Labyrinth is a word which means maze full of secrets and danger.
Retrieve means take away.
We know what retrieve means.
A girl your age should know that a taxi is a car that takes you someplace for a reasonable fee.
Dowager is a fancy word for widow.
I'm sure you know there are two kinds of fears, rational and irrational. Or in simpler terms, fears that make sense and fears that don't. Real estate agents, a term which here means people who assist in the buying and selling of houses.
Brunch?
This is a word for the combination of breakfast and lunch.
We know what brunch means.
Oh, weather permitting.
What does that mean?
It means the pickleberry isn't running at all.
Let's call the tiller. Here's the shit.
Plethora is a word which here means too many to list, but I will try.
Out of the woods is an expression referring to the fact that woods are dangerous places to be.
Partners can mean several things. It could mean two people who own a lumber mill together or cupcakery. Now with the advent of more progressive cultural mores, not to mention certain high court rulings, it could also mean...
I do all the work, he irons my clothes. Oh, I also cook your omelets.
The definitions are not mutually exclusive. The Baudelaires could tell that their new co-worker was an optimist, a word meaning person who thinks hopeful thoughts about even the bleakest situation. Optimist is not to be confused with optometrist, a word meaning healthcare professional who performs eye exams.
Do you know what bedside manner means?
It's when...
It's when a doctor speaks in a calm and reassuring voice to make sure his patients trust him.
Inordinate? What? What the heck does that mean?
It can mean many things. Immoderate, irregular. But in this case, I think it means you miss me a lot.
Seen in black and white is a way of saying that a person looks at the world in a manner that is oversimplified and often incorrect. Fatal is a word here which means cause the death of one person.
Pariah means outcast.
We all have skeletons in our closet, metaphorically, meaning things from our past we'd prefer not leave lying around because they are painful or incriminating or would create unnecessary clutter.
It's appropriate for families. A phrase here which means delightful and educational.
What does memento mori mean?
Remember you will die.
Adversity means trouble, by the way.
The expression, making a mountain out of a molehill, simply means making a big deal out of a small deal. And it's easy to see how this expression came about. Molehills are simply mounds of earth serving as condominiums for small mammals. Mountains, however, are very large mounds of earth and are constantly causing problems.
Mandatory means anyone who doesn't come has to buy me a bag of candy and watch me eat it. Twins is what you call triplets when one of them burns to a crisp.
On guard.
That's French for we gotcha.
What school spirit actually refers to is the belief that one particular school is better than another.
Settle. A word which here means settling for less.
Punctuation.
The art of arriving not late.
That's punctuality.
Luminous is a word I invented for things that glow in the dark.
We know what luminous means.
Because night is simply a badly lit version of day, but a dark day also refers to a time when something terrible is going on.
Another dark day, a phrase which here means more time at school.
The word nervous simply means worried about something.
I'm nervous.
The word anxious, on the other hand, means troubled by disturbing suspense.
I'm anxious.
Phrase in the dark, which I'm sure you know, can refer to not only one's shadowy surroundings, but also to the secrets which might be surrounding you too.
Aqueous martinis.
Yeah, it's just cold water in a fancy glass with an olive in it.
Zorus means trouble in Yiddish.
Oh, I know what Zorus means.
Do you know what the word xenophobia means?
Oh, phobia means the fear of, like podophobia means the fear of feet.
Yes, but xenophobia is the fear of strangers.
The elevator's ersatz. It's just a long, dark tunnel.
What does perfidy mean?
The words red herring do not only refer to a common type of foraging fish that may have a crimson hue due to being smoked or painted with excessive nail polish, they can also refer to a distracting or misleading clue.
An aphorism is a phrase that can sound mysterious, but yet in fact is very wise.
We know what aphorism means.
Oh, this is a dry county. That means there's no water.
It actually means there's no alcohol.
Jig.
It's a phrase which means your scheme has been undone.
Fowl means birds. Murder. Murder is the word for a group of crows. It's the crow's fly. It means the crow flies. The expression meaning the shortest distance between 2 points. No. Awesome. That's a word that means inspiring awe.
There are many expressions to describe someone who's going about something in the wrong way. Making a mistake is one way, screwing up is another, although it is a bit rude. But there is one expression that describes the Baudelaire situation perfectly. The Baudelaire saw that they were barking up the wrong tree.
Imperative means absolutely necessary.
They're accomplices.
That means helper of murder.
We know what accomplice means.
Calm down.
Repugnant.
It's a word that means horrendous and disgusting.
Deus ex machina.
What's that?
Well, it's a Latin term meaning God from the machine, or refers to something helpful happening when you least expect it.
I am on the lam, a phrase which here means conveying this information to you while being relentlessly pursued by the law. In the hinterlands, a term which here means a desolate place unlikely to bring their troubles to an end.
An anagram is a word created by rearranging letters in a different word. Little cranium means head, and ectomy means to remove something.
Evaluate, a word which here means tested over and over again for no reason other than your own embarrassment.
Ambidextrous. Isn't that just someone who's both right and left-handed?
Contortionist?
I can bend my body into all sorts of unusual positions.
What did you say?
I said hump. It's an expression of mild disgust.
What's a tagliatelle grande? Tagliatelle is a type of Italian noodle. And grande is Italian for big.
If by untrained we mean never having seen this person do these particular things.
The phrase in the belly of the beast means in a terrible place with little chance of escape.
And then there was a schism. Do you know what that means?
Division between members of the same organization.
Lions are carnivorous, which means they eat meat. That's not a surprise.
Sleep on it is a phrase which here means to go to bed thinking about something in the hopes of reaching a conclusion in the morning. It's a slippery slope is an expression which refers to the way even small, seemingly harmless actions can set you down a path to something horribly wrong.
A catchphrase. A word which here means a catchy phrase.
Xenial is an adjective that begins with X. It means being welcoming to strangers.
In close proximity, a word which here means while the police gathered outside and eventually managed to take the robbers to jail. The expression Stockholm Syndrome has been used to describe a situation in which prisoners grow fond of their captors, but there is also an expression to describe when captors grow fond of their prisoners. That expression has become known as Mount Fraught syndrome. Where there's smoke, there's fire is an expression that means if something seems wrong, it usually is. A water cycle consists of three key phenomena: evaporation, precipitation, and collection. All of them are equally dry, a word which here means boring. The expression "shiver me timbers" comes from the Society of Pirates, who enjoy using interesting expressions almost as much as jumping aboard other people's ships and stealing their valuables. It is an expression of extreme amazement, used in circumstances when one feels as if one's very bones or timbers are shivering.
Henge person, a word which here means you work for me.
Mycelium is a word for mushrooms, and Medusa is a monster from Greek mythology. Her hair is made of snakes.
I bet she was really nice when you got to know her.
The phrase uncharted waters refers to locations that do not appear on a map, but it can also describe any place that is unknown. Waxes and wanes, a phrase which here means it disappears and reappears.
What the?
The expression, "the tables have turned," is not one the Baudelaire orphans had much occasion to use. It refers to a situation that has suddenly been reversed so that those who are in a powerless position suddenly find themselves in a powerful one, and vice versa. The word volatile means unstable, or likely to cause trouble.
So it means trouble. Well, you know what tourist means.
Do you know what a flaneur is?
A person who observes their surroundings carefully, like a spy.
The Forza del Destino is an Italian phrase meaning the force of destiny. Destiny is a word which tends to cause arguments among the people who use it. Theatrical is a word which here means related to the theater, but it can also mean a person who is prone to fits of melodrama.
My brother's defining words again.
Let's hope it's a phase.
Haven't you heard the expression "justice is blind"?
Yes, but that just means that justice should be fair and unprejudiced.
What my sister means is the literal interpretation makes no sense.
This is like the blind leading the blind, an expression that I just made up myself.
The blind leading the blind is already an expression. It means that the people in charge don't know any more than the people following.
But it hardly seems relevant.
Penultimate is a word meaning next to last.
Don't rock the boat.
It's an expression that means don't do anything that might cause trouble.
As I'm sure you know, labor is the term for the process by which a woman gives birth. By no coincidence, it is also a word that means a very difficult task.
Delmo? What do you mean by Delmo? I consider myself an expert on the English language, and I have no idea what the word Delmo means.